hear me at any time, maybe you can do one of these just to let me know.
Huh?
Thank you.
See what I did there?
Starting at K, please.
Stop right about that same spot. It's really good. You know, it's clear. What do you perceive that you changed the second time to the time before?
More eye contact.
Sorry?
Do a bit more eye contact.
Okay, probably. Anything
I
else?
was also trying to think about who I need to make eye contact with to make this happen.
Okay, sure. Players, what do you, anything you want to mention to Katie, or all fine? Kevin?
Well, the first time you started, you kind of just immediately lifted up your head and gave the cue. The second time you did it, you actually looked around and made sure people were ready before you actually gave the downbeat. So make sure that everybody's prepared before you actually give the downbeat.
When you're getting, there's an echelle, right? As the echelle is moving, you're reinforcing that a lot of extra motion in your arms, but it tends to be a little bit, it seems to me just the same, kind of back and forth. So take a look at that when you look at your video. Just see what is the point of that. You're trying to increase some energy, move the tempo, get us into the new transition spot. It goes from a what time to a what time? Is it 4 to 2?
I'm sorry?
The transition goes from a 4 to a 2.
Yes.
Is that correct? And then what's the dynamic at the arrival of the 2?
Piano.
It's immediately piano?
Yes.
Okay. The first time you showed them a soft right at that piano. The second time you didn't. I wasn't sure whether it was an immediate piano or if it was a decrescendo.
I'm sorry, it's a decrescendo. I misspoke.
Oh, okay. It seems like that. It seems like one of those oop-bop, 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 just to fade away before the tune comes in. So given that, I think the second choice, you know, stay with it. You don't want to get this right on the arrival of the 2/4, since we stay big for a little while and then it backs away so that the new color, the new character can be to the 4, like Ranger might say. Make sense? Okay, you want to do it again?
Yeah, can we try that again at K, please?
We never want to show this unless we absolutely have to at a transition, you know, right on the stick of the transition. Especially in this case, when in order for it to back away, it has to exist in its full self, at least for a little bit. You know, I might even be tempted to reinforce the big and then let it go. You know, you know, we all, myself very, very much included, we're the last person. Mr. Whitwell used to say, my teacher at Michigan State used to say, every single conductor on the planet has little mannerisms. And everyone on the planet knows what they are, except us. You know, I was reminded of that when a group, some of the people in this room just informed me yesterday that there is a Facebook group of apparently my quotes. I find that interesting. I didn't know that existed. Now I'm self-conscious about everything I say. I wonder if it's going to be added to my Facebook page of quotes. that I'm not 100% sure I want to be a member of, but I think I kind of do. But I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. So I think I would, given all that I'm saying I think I would, not I know I would, you know. I think I would probably give that sustain and then just let my arm fall. They'll do it naturally.
Yeah.
You know, it'll just sort of happen. So want to give that a shot?
Yeah. Okay, please.
Grossly exaggerate and just show you, make sure I'm clearly showing what I mean, and then you can do whatever you want. Okay, where are you starting? Okay. Okay, could we please just do something in this kind of a vein? Because that, you know, at L, wait a minute, it is piano at L, and then a decrescendo. So we actually have a decrescendo with a bar before it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, let's see. So we're here? We're going to stay the same? Right. So we're trying to move through this and let this back away to this and then back away even more. Ooh.
Well, is they back away? Okay, please. Thank you for your patience.
That's what they're here for. Like I said, be careful how much of this, and I'll encourage you to do this. You're welcome to conduct.
Yeah.
It's all part. So, you know, I do want you to be big and involved here because it's mezzo forte and crescendo. And then this bar, perhaps not a whole lot's happening. We get with the low brass here. And then, if this arm has been involved in some way, this is where it backs away off 4L. We're stable for a bit, and then this probably takes care of it.
Yeah.
You know, I really wouldn't even try to mess with that. Yeah, you know, this is probably where the action is. After this is where the action is. And this is where the action is. The students in the conducting class, we've been talking about a YouTube video that we've been sharing. There's a conductor named Larry Gergiev that's walking the planet right now. And professional musicians tend to either love Larry Gergiev or hate Larry Gergiev. It's funny. It's because he's kind of a wild band conductor. And I've talked to a lot of professional musicians. They said that had experience with him. They loved it. Joe Alessi was just soloing at the University of Miami where I went to school. And so I talked to my teacher the other day who was conducting the concerto with Joe Alessi. They talked about Gergiev with Alessi. Alessi can't stand him. They can't find any pulse anywhere with what Gergiev does. He's just Mr. Emotive and Mr. Emotional and Mr. Character. So you have to take all that into consideration. But in this little lesson, we were talking about in the conducting class, I sent to them this YouTube video of Valeri Gergiev teaching a conducting lesson just like this. So he was standing here, and then the conducting student was here, and the student did some work, and then Gergiev did this kind of thing. And what he said near the end was something that we talked about a lot in class. He said that the nature of what he was getting at was, as a conductor, we have to study score, and we have to get home, and in our home, and while we're planning, we're thinking to ourselves, we have to discover where the moments are in the piece of music, and we say to ourselves, wow, that's a moment. Wow, that's what we're going to go after. And so it was what was that piece, Kevin? You remember? It's the Scriabin. Yeah, it was the poem of ecstasy, the Scriabin. And he's talking about how the whole piece isn't full of these moments, and no piece is. You couldn't just be constantly arrivals or constantly events. But when you find them, they become sort of the architectural landmarks that you use and determine to make your plan, to make your structure and form and weight, and density and pace and all these things we have to decide as a conductor. And these are little examples of that. You know, these aren't events in themselves in the way that he meant that Scriabin was an event, but they're events as this music moves forward
through to L.